Today, we're going to dive into the metaverse once again and really kind of look at some of the projects that are leading the way. What a lot of you may assume is that the metaverse just started. In reality, there's a lot of projects that have been around for quite some time and have been developing and really kind of creating the infrastructure of what the metaverse could and will be in the future. We're going to dive into that today. My name is Paul Barron. Welcome back to TechBath. Joining me today is Dvision, who is a head of product development over at a company called Dvision Network. Great to have you on the show, Dvision.
Hi, Paul. It's really an honor and pure pleasure to be a guest in your show, hoping to have a very fruitful and diverse conversation with you during this session. To briefly introduce myself, my name is Dvision Moydinov, but please call me Brian. This is the name that I usually use in this area. And I'm the head of the business development at Dvision Network. Nice to be
Great.
here.
I like it. Okay, so you're based in South Korea. We're seeing a lot of innovation in South Korea, both on the play-to-earn gaming side, metaverse projects, really in blockchain in general. Just before we get into Dvision, I want to learn a little bit about the South Korean market. Why are we seeing so much innovation going on in that area of the world right now?
I guess the first thing that you have to look is the demographic of South Korea, and that the level of the education in South Korea is pretty high.
Mm-hmm.
And the adoption rates of the NFTs and the metaverses and the other concepts like DeFi as well, it's taking off. If you go to basically libraries across the city, you're going to see that the trending books, the number top 10 books are always either NFTs or metaverses, and people usually put a lot of effort in order to keep up with those trends. And not only they are just learning those things, they are actively participating in those things. And if we're talking about the enterprise adoption, the leading companies such as SK, Naver, and the other leading cartel businesses here are fully diving into the metaverse businesses, and they're trying to adopt the NFTs. We recently saw that Samsung has decided to adopt their NFT standards in order to offer their products within the marketplace in their product.
Yeah, I was looking at an article just yesterday. We were reporting on kind of the state of metaverse in one of the key countries that was mentioned, mainly because of what the government is doing in terms of just advancement of the math and science and technology fields within the youth, was South Korea, and that we were going to continue to see massive adoption rate and also growth. But with that being the case, it's also become somewhat of a global leader when it comes to blockchain projects, and especially when you get into what's happening within the metaverse. Now, let's learn a little bit about what's happening over at Dvision Network. Tell me a little about what you guys are trying to do. And you've been around for quite some time, so it's not as though you're new to the game. Give me a little bit about where you guys started and what was the goal.
Yeah, I guess that's a pretty great question to kick off. I believe, first of all, I wanted to know that Dvision Network is initiated and built by the 9VR team, which is a South Korean gaming company that has a very, very, rich experience in building and operating social metaverse platforms. And therefore, Dvision Metaverse is so, and it's sophisticated, and I'm not going to be lying, but to a certain extent, it's a very refined per se. I guess the users that have tried out Dvision Network so far, they love and really adore the UI and UX that we present. Actually, 9VR has been operating in the market more than 5 years, but Dvision Network has started out when the appreciation towards the blockchain technology and the adoption of the NFTs and the shift towards the Web3 has been initiated, and that the team has realized about its perks. So we have started with a small team of fewer than 15 people when the Dvision Network idea has been established. But now I can say that we are a solo team approaching 50 full-time members that are now not only working on the architecture of the metaverse itself, but we are now working on building the sustainable token models, play-to-earn mechanism, and other blockchain features to pioneer the Web3 industry, and of course, essentially to strive towards becoming the #1 blockchain-based metaverse project in the world.
Yeah, Brian, we were just looking at the NFT, the land teaser there, but the graphics, again, I've been very, very, I think, pleased, but also surprised at the advancement that we've seen around metaverse play to earn. Some of the graphics that have been built around it, we've seen Unreal, the use of Unity, all sorts of technology advancements in this area. What are your thoughts on how and what we'll see in the near future, let's say 2022, in terms of deployment around projects within the metaverse, where we'll see real use case pickup in terms of adoption, maybe some commerce? What are your thoughts on what 22 holds for us?
I guess the beauty of the metaverse, first of all, right? It allows like the most sustainable and most like uh, uh, the beautiful transition of the offline businesses to online businesses. That's actually how the 9VR has taken off, and how the Dvision Network actually came to existence. The first motto for the team was to bring the offline businesses to online. So now I guess like the metaverse is a better term to explain
Right.
this, right? So we've seen a lot of projects so far, like apart from the division, like right, we've seen, like, if I'm not mistaken, Chic VR actually, that has brought over the H&M shopping mall into their metaverse. But Division has done this kind of things so far. We have brought over like different galleries with different like conferences and the forum like thematics into our metaverse. So 2022 is actually where we use the platform, like not only Division, I guess, but the other metaverse platforms, the social metaverse platforms. That's the year when we're gonna start actually deploying these kind of pieces of content, where a lot of offline businesses, shopping malls, even concerts, right? Different things will be coming to the metaverse. We actually we deployed on the Polygon, and we started onboarding the Polygon partners. Some of them include like ODT services and the other blockchain based companies that are trying to build their own like communities, their own like content within the Division's metaverse. So I guess my prediction for 2022 is that now there is a global understanding and appreciation towards the metaverse concept. In
Mm-hmm.
2002, we're going to see a lot of adoption, the real enterprise level adoption.
Yeah, I was just looking at a tweet you guys had up here from January 13, finally happening, officially deployed on Polygon. Division's land sale NFTs coming to Polygon, bringing its virtual heritage to Polygon's ecosystem. So we are seeing more and more projects like this going into Layer 2 scenarios, obviously because of the situations we've seen with ETH gas fees in general. Do you see that as a potential deterrent for adoption rate? Now, to a certain extent, we've seen a lot of NFT movement, and it hasn't seemed to deter what's been happening in the NFT space with ETH gas fees. But when you look at the amount of potential adoption in the millions and millions this year, the gas fees could become an issue. So I think this is a good move by you. What are your thoughts on how that might affect future adoption within the metaverse itself, just in the pure play of gas fees on Ethereum?
Shortly, to answer this question, I believe the future of the blockchain is multi-chain.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually where we see the cross chains across different like protocols, the blockchain protocols, layer one, layer two, including the Polygon, Binance Smart Chain, Solana, and the different chains that are trying to address the issue that has been raised by the Ethereum, like monsters like gas fees. And when the people are trying to buy the NFT for like $10, but the gas fee is charging them around like $150,
Right.
which is not sustainable at all. But again, we cannot say that the other chains are fully addressing this issue. If the other chain starts having the same amount of the traction that Ethereum actually has, like 10,000 decentralized applications that are built on top of the Ethereum, they will be obliged to increase their gas fees. This is not avoidable. Let's say a lot of different like chains that are trying to get this idea of being like Ethereum killer protocols, right? When they see a huge amount of transactions that are happening on their blockchain, they see the same amount of congestion on their network. So what they do to avoid the situation, they increase the gas fees again. So of course it's not the same amount of that you're going to be paying on the Ethereum side, but still the pattern is the same. So in order to avoid this issue, I guess like there should be a multi-chain future where different projects will try to move over their assets, including like their like fungible tokens or the non-fungible tokens. They have to be running it over like multiple chains to allow the users to choose the ecosystem that they want to deal with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that is going to, I think you're dead on there in the sense that we will see that just because of the fact that we'll see so much adoption in the metaverse from e-commerce, social aspects, And I think the evolution of all industries, whether we see that in DeFi, obviously we'll see it in gaming on the play to earn side of things, but there's going to be a lot of opportunity here, I think, as we see a multi-chain kind of environment evolve. Now, you guys have been building on this project for quite some time. When you look at historical, within the blockchain, there's not a lot of companies and projects like Dvision that are out there. You guys have kind of been one of the kickstarters, so to speak, of the metaverse itself. Talk to me about, has anything changed from the time in which you said, hey, let's get this rolling, in kind of the vision of what Dvision was going to be done with in terms of targeting the metaverse, and what we see today in terms of maybe development, strategies? Where are you guys going that might be different from where you were when you started?
One thing that I wanted to note, right? Like the Vision Network has initiated before the concept of the metaverse has started kicking off, right? And it happened long before, like the Facebook has decided to become a meta concept, right? They decided to make this rebranding and become the metaverse oriented company. I'll tell you honestly, we knew from the very beginning where we were headed to. We wanted to become a social metaverse platform in order to onboard the offline businesses and translate it to the online. So I'll tell you, there are certain things that have changed. Like we started adopting several different, blockchain features, adding up the play to earn ecosystem, adding up the mechanism for the play to earn, DAO governance system that we have added in order to grant the ownership, or the voting rights to the people. But the essential thing, using the NFTs and onboarding the offline businesses to our metaverse, it's still the same. Nothing has changed. We still keep building the future of the metaverses. We're trying to become the number one blockchain-based metaverse protocol that exists in the market.
Okay, so Brian, let's break it down a little bit for our viewers and listeners. For someone who maybe have never seen this project before, what is the core elements of what it solves for the metaverse? Key attributes, the potential of what this project can do for the industry.
So I guess we provide the open world, right? So any metaverse that is decently built metaverse, right? We provide an open world to the users. And actually, the land sale is a good example of how we are doing this. We're trying to transfer the ownership over the virtual terrains that exist in our metaverse by transferring the rights through the selling of those NFTs, and the users that happen to have those NFTs will be able to use the 3D object like toolings to build whatever content they want to do. So you create an avatar, you create that you purchase the land and start creating your own content. So basically, you're having your best metaverse experience by doing whatever you want to do. So let's say you have a business idea. You wanna build a concert thematic in the metaverse. You can buy the land. You can go to the MySpace, which is the tooling, 3D tooling. You're gonna use the NFTs and start building your own virtual plot, your virtual estate, and establish the admission kind of requirement where the users will be paying in the DVI tokens in order to access the metaverse that you're presenting. So let's say if you start the concert, the users will be able to buy the tickets. In this case, they're going to be paying in the DVI tokens in order to pay for the admission. So in this way, you basically present a business opportunity for the people that have certain ideas, that have certain abilities, and there is no limit to what can be done within the metaverse. There
Yeah,
are there are certainly a lot of use cases. There's certainly a lot of the business ideas and the implementation styles. I can talk about the conferences. Actually, we've done a lot of
sure.
conferences division. So basically, there was a Binance Smart Chain anniversary that we held in our metaverse. It's been one of the most memorable and one of the most active conferences that has been held so far inside of the metaverse. Uh, we've done it together with the 30 different Binance Smart Chain partners, and the Binance Smart Chain has been the one that was participating in it as well. All different sessions, all different presentations, and the fireside chats and the booths and all those things were so simplistic and at the same time so sophisticated that the people really loved this experience, so they kept asking for more.
Right.
So now, because we've done it, but our essential goal is to become a social metaverse platform to allow the
Hmm.
users to use those lands in order to present their own content. We're now working to make this thing happen by transiting the ownership back to the users.
Interesting. So I mean, I look at it, and a lot of times we try to break these things down for, the average person to really understand it. It's almost like the Etsy of the metaverse in essence. You've got creators, designers, conference, artists from all over the world that are essentially looking for a potential place to build out their potential use case. In this particular case, maybe it's a store, it's a conference, it's a music hall, whatever it might be in terms of metaverse economies that I think we'll see evolve in, I think, the metaverse of the future. So I think it's brilliant in that aspect. I want to talk about the land sale because I was looking at your Twitter again, and you guys have your Polygon-based land sale coming up to Division right now, 27th of January, so coming up very soon. And land sale for Tokyo and London in the meta cities. Explain how this works. Can you talk to me a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. So, first of all, to address this, right, I generally like talking about the land NFTs in our metaverse, as I personally consider these virtual plots being one of the most valuable asset classes in our protocol.
Hmm.
Uh, to explain the concept of the land itself, first of all, right, to the users, it's the essential pillar of our metaverse, where every single, the platform feature is built around it. So, so let's say there is a play to earn concept which allows the users to engage in battles, purchasing several pet NFTs, and be eligible to win the land NFTs by that. So we have done the land sale before. We have done the land sale on the Binance Smart Chain in collaboration with the Binance NFT and the NFTB. And we have offered like around 4,500 virtual plot NFTs to the users, and actually we have reached the sold out within 5 minutes. So we didn't actually
Hmm.
expect that the land NFTs would be liquidated at such a huge fast pace. So at the moment I can say that the land NFTs are actually being traded on the secondary marketplaces for like at least like 400% of the appreciated yield. And the second land sale, right, which is the part of our multi-chain concept, because we're trying to become a multi-chain. We're trying to spread the land NFTs across different and multiple chains, and in this case at the Polygon,
Right.
where we're going to be selling the land NFTs built on top of the Polygon ecosystem on OpenSea and the Division marketplace. The users will actually be able to purchase a certain amount of NFTs by going to the OpenSea and the Division marketplace on January 27th. And here, as you can see, each land belongs to a certain meta city. In this case, like the second Division land sale
Right.
features the Tokyo and the London meta cities. And if you look closer to each city, it actually takes the real snapshot of the territory that belongs to the city. In the first land sale, we have done it together with the for the first land sale we did it for the Seoul and the New York.
So I want to get into NFTs and land sales in general on Brian on this because that's something that we have been continuously tracking here around both valuation, the amount of people that are interested in NFTs, especially around land sales, has not seemed to slow much, even though we've seen a downtrend in the markets. So why do you think that is happening? What is attributing to that particular phenomenon?
I guess we see more people that actually have the appreciation towards the NFTs, including the land NFTs. They see not only the capital gain, exposure here, they see certain utilities and they see certain like features that they can actually implement by using those lands. Certain projects provide the opportunity to have the lands and stake them in the staking system and get the rewards for that. For certain people, the land is the part of the play to earn mechanism as well. For certain like projects, the land can be something that they can actually utilize to build it. So now, in the beginning, like we saw a lot of like speculators that started like purchasing these NFTs, and those are the NFT flippers. I have nothing against those people, but
Right.
the flippers come with the sole purpose to earn on the capital gains. That's a good thing as well, because the NFTs can be the land NFTs can be a good investment. This is not a financial advice once again, right? It can be a good investment opportunity to put the capital into. Although sometimes there are some issues with the liquidity and the other parts, but still I consider the land NFT being one of the real NFTs that have the certain utility.
Right.
Uh, Going back to the question, why the market started cooling off, but the NFTs are still hot, saying like especially land NFTs are hot, saying. Well, I can tell you that the market is seeing the downturn because of the correction that's going on. I'm not the real specialist that can talk about this, but I can talk about NFTs. The NFTs still see the long term holders, and still see the people that are actually in the long term game. And by purchasing the NFTs that are actually engaging in certain activities by using those,
Right.
if it's like a land NFT, if it's like a certain other NFT, they engage in certain activities that applies to the lands that are sold in the sandbox, that are the lands that are sold on the decentral land. People purchase the land in the decentral land, and they start building something on top of it, and they try
Mhm.
to monetize it, and that's actually working.
Yeah, well, we're continuing to see the adoption and the pickup rate just definitely becoming something that is somewhat. I think in essence, when you look at the explosion of some other technologies we've seen in social, the evolution of even smartphones to a certain extent, the adoption pickup rate, especially around Gen Z and a certain demographic of millennials, we're seeing more and more in that use case area. This could become one of probably the largest economies that are out there. And I was looking at a report here from the Grayscale group, which really dove into the metaverse and what that potentially meant in terms of the overall industry itself. And a lot of what they were trying to say within the report was that, one, there's going to be massive industries that start to come into this. Obviously, play to earn is going to be a big part of that. Now, when you look at gaming today, it has mostly been pay to play. You're paying for the game itself. You're paying in most cases to acquire assets, but usually have no ability for the user or the creator of those assets to do anything in a marketplace and earn. This really changes the dynamic. So the likelihood, the future is definitely play to earn. How would the Dvision Network protocol be in place for play to earn applications within Dvision? So I understand the land side of it. I'm going in, I'm building something. I want to create a conference, a music center. I want to do something for shop or e-commerce. But when it comes to play to earn, how would that be utilized and applicable in Dvision?
Right. That's actually a great question, Paul, because that's something that, as a team here, that's been one of the core issues that we have deliberating so far. There, to be honest, like with the viewers here, with the people that are watching this session today, I want to say that there are a lot of like play to earn systems that are not sustainable. There are games that are presenting play to earn mechanisms. They see a huge influx of the users, and they are not able to deal with the sustainability part. So they try to the accommodate like 1 million, 2 million users, and distribute all the rewards, if it's their like native token, if they're NFTs, which start becoming like non-appreciated assets at all. We've seen this pattern. We have like been reviewing it and seeing and taking like our own lessons from those kind of situations. But right now, what we see is that there is a huge need for the sustainability in the play to earn mechanism, because I can say that even Axie Infinity has cooled off because of this situation. The user base started like uh, actually like leaving. They are losing at the point the users, but they're still one of the biggest like play to earn games out there. It's basically because the revenue model has started like going down. Again, like this applies to sustainability model, and then the
Mhm.
price of the SLP at the moment. For Division, we have we have actually we have been deliberating on this again like for a very long time, and we came up with a sustainable, the play to earn mechanism, which we hope is going to revolutionize the whole industry at this point. And then the play to earn mechanism is called as the land purification process, where basically the users acquire the pet NFTs and they combine it, and they equip their pet NFTs in order to go to the meta city in our metaverse. So inside of the meta city, the 40% of the lands belong to the infected like monsters. So basically the gameplay here is that the user gets those NFTs, get their pet NFTs and engage in the battle with those monsters. So once they clarify the land goes to the auction automatically. So let's say the user has been like killing the monsters across like 3 by 3 land terrain, and then the land has been purified by 10 different users, and mutually they have 10% of the contribution to by each user has been made so far. And when the land goes to the auction, the land gets sold by, let's say, I don't know, $1,000. So because each user has made 10% of the contribution, they receive by $100 for their contribution. So how we deal with the sustainability in this case is that we are releasing the meta cities, gradually. There is going to be a sequential release of the meta cities in order to keep up with the availability of the lands that can be distributed to the users. So I hope the people in this industry will soon realize that there should be a kind of a balance between this mechanism. Uh, it's basically you cannot just distribute your native tokens, because it's going to have a huge inflationary pressure, which we actually saw with the SLP, right, going from I don't know $0.42 to 0.1 cent at this point, right?
Right.
Yeah, and the NFTs as well. There were a lot of Binance Smart Chain based protocols so far that have started distributing a lot of NFTs to the users, and their value has hugely depreciated, because they see a lot of minting of those NFTs, and there is no ending to the available liquidity on that.
Yeah.
So with Division, we don't do the rewards with our native token. We don't do useless NFTs. We provide scarce land NFTs, but for certain contribution.
Right. Right. I was looking at your NFTB gaming. This was a blog post you had over on Medium, Ultimate NFT and Gaming Platform for Gamers and Developers. And it looks like you guys are looking to launch essentially kind of a Web3 platform here for artists, gamers, et cetera. Explain to me, because there was a screenshot here that I was looking at on NFTB. Explain to me what you're trying to do here. This really looks interesting.
I guess this question goes to the NFTB team, because they are
Yeah.
working on this category, and they because we happen to be one of the strategic partners of the NFTB, that we did the INO together with them on the first land sale. Now they are working on the category of the gaming, and I guess not much information has been released from their side, but they are definitely preparing something great, and we value their partnership. We value their cooperation on different layers with us. Apart from the Launchpad initiative, now they're working on the gaming. It's going to be a huge thing. We're going to probably announce about it once something is prepared from their side.
Yeah, I think the point I'm getting at is these partnerships seem to be evolving in the space of the metaverse and becoming more and more valuable to companies and projects like what you guys are doing. When you look at the future, partnerships are going to be key. What are your thoughts on key partnerships that you think will start to evolve in the metaverse that will become kind of the paramount, element that will consider, a successful project versus not a successful project? Do you think it's going to be brand deals, deals with other Web3 companies like an FTB, or are you looking at something beyond that?
I think, well, for me personally, right, whatever brings the synergetic value to the parties, like whether it's going to be the brand based partnership, whether you are trying to bring over the celebrity or the IPs, the very very popular artists, or the production the gaming publications, whatever brings for the project, for the metaverse, to the next level of the evolution. So from the Division Network's perspective, we actually try to establish a certain pattern for the partnership establishments. We try to derive the synergetic, the benefit from each partnership, whether it's going to be from the technological, from the technical, or the business direction. We bring over the best partners that are adding up to the value, to the long-term success of the division. Certain partners from the layer one perspective, they are helping us to run on multiple chains. They help us in order to bring over the bridges across multiple chains, and in this way they are helping to put one more break towards establishing the multi-chain future for the division, right? And the partners such as the gaming companies, they are helping us to bring over the different mini games or certain demo version of the games into the division to introduce the gaming inside of the gaming concept inside of the metaverse. So I think when it comes to the IPs and the brands, it actually something that helps to create the hype. But what you need actually is the content creators, technological
Right.
partners, and the real builders that will be actually introducing dope content in your metaverse.
Yeah, dead on there. And I think that what you lean to is the technology side of it, which is even more intriguing to me because I think it does open up, especially in the number of capabilities on multi-chain, to really kind of open it up to creators that aren't locked into one ecosystem. And especially if you have developers that are rising stars that are building in certain blockchains and or on layer twos that are moving in a certain direction. Great opportunity there. When you look at your tech, I was just looking through some of the notives or some of the notes. Ethereum native, but you're also further bridged onto BSC. But you also have in your pipeline Engine, Polkadot, and Affinity. Explain how all this starts to come together into a multi-chain.
Well, basically, we have established the partnerships so far with the engine. So the engine has the APIs that actually can connect you with the Affinity, Polkadot, and even one of
Mm-hmm.
their native the gas free
Right.
blockchain
Mm-hmm.
protocols called JumpNet. So in this situation, we partner with the engine in order to move over to Affinity first, and then from there we're gonna be live on the Polkadot in the near future. I don't have the estimated timeline on this, but what I know is we are already in talks with Affinity. We have certain collaboration plans on this. Without just becoming live on their chain, we have certain promotion plans. We have certain the marketing and the business plans for doing this. Uh, so again, apart from the Polygon, apart from the Binance Smart Chain and the engine-related chains, we also have in the pipeline Elrond. With the Elrond,
Okay.
we are already building the Elrond native NFTs and building certain the features together as well. This all has to be connected through the bridges. We
Mm-hmm.
we are one of the actually how we came to the Binance Smart Chain through the Ethereum. We have established our native bridge that is called Multibass Bridge that's been developed by the Curvebit team based in Tokyo. They are the guys that have helped us to build the bridge that moves across the tokens from one chain to another. So we're gonna keep working with the bridge operators in order to make those bridges available across different chains for the users to not only move over their fungible tokens, but essentially to move over their non fungible tokens. So
Right.
why is this actually important? Is that let's say we have done the land sale on the Binance Smart Chain,
Mm-hmm.
so the users have those the NFTs that they can actually sell on the secondary marketplaces such as Refinable, the Binance NFT, and even Dvision Marketplace. What if the user wants to do this on the OpenSea because he has the
Right.
NFT on the Binance Smart Chain? He has to bridge it to the Ethereum or the Polygon in order to list his asset on the OpenSea. So this is the ultimate, the future that we are envisioning, where the users will be able to move their assets across different ecosystems
Huge.
to support the liquidity to support whatever they want to do with those NFTs.
Yeah, I think that really opens up a lot for what we'll see in the future of NFTs and kind of the evolution, because this is going to be an issue that we'll start to face. We've already faced this in other technological forefronts that have been advanced, in society over the past 2 decades. So in blockchain and Web3, I think we will be faced with multi-chain and the capable projects that are able to do it to a certain level of efficiency. So it's cool that you guys are moving in this direction and so advanced on it. So Brian, thanks so much for stopping in on the show today. We appreciate the
Thank you
breakdown.
very much. It's been a
Excellent.
pleasure.
You bet. All right, so you guys are tuned in over on the podcast right now on the audio side of this. Make sure and give us some likes and some stars, whether you're on iTunes or over on Spotify. But the number one place you want to catch this show is over here on YouTube. This is the place where all of our subscribers come, because you've got access not only to our charts, our insights, some of our crypto power index data, great interviews like this that really explore projects and how they're moving blockchain and metaverse to the next level. Of course, if you have an idea for the show, drop it in the comments below, or you can reach out to me on Twitter. It's @PaulBaron. We'll catch you next time right here on TechPath.